James and Margaret had been married for over 60 years, 6 decades of laughter, shared dreams, and unbreakable devotion. They had built a life together, raising children, weathering hardships, and cherishing the simple joys of everyday moments. Their love was a rare kind, the kind that novels and old songs were written about. From the moment they exchanged vows, they had promised each other honesty, loyalty, and unwavering support. And for all those years, they had kept that promise. They talked about everything, never keeping secrets, never allowing anything to come between them. Well, almost never. For as long as James could remember, Margaret had kept a small, dusty shoebox on the top shelf of their bedroom closet. It wasn't locked or hidden away, but it was the one thing she had never asked him to leave alone. "James, promise me," she had said many years ago, "never open this box or ask me about it." It was a strange request, but James, trusting his wife completely, had never questioned her. Time passed, and life went on, and the mysterious little box faded from his mind. Until one fateful day, Margaret fell gravely ill. The doctor's words were kind but firm. Her time was short. James, now an old man himself, felt his heart breaking at the thought of losing the love of his life. They had been together for so long that he couldn't imagine a world without her. As they sat together in their quiet bedroom, hand in hand, he remembered the shoebox. With a deep breath, he stood up, reached into the closet, and pulled it down. He sat beside Margaret, his hands trembling as he placed the box between them. She looked at it for a long moment, then gave him a weak smile. "I suppose it's time," she whispered. James carefully lifted the lid. Inside, he found 2 small, handmade woolen dolls, delicately stitched, their tiny features carefully embroidered. But what truly took his breath away was the pile of neatly stacked money beneath them. James stared in disbelief as he counted. $95,000. His eyes widened. "Margaret, what is this? What does it mean?" His wife let out a soft chuckle, a glimmer of her old warmth shining through. "When we got married," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, "my grandmother gave me some advice. She told me that the key to a happy marriage was to never argue. She said that if I ever felt angry or upset with you, instead of fighting, I should stay silent and make a woolen doll to calm myself." James felt his throat tighten with emotion. He looked at the 2 tiny dolls, and his heart swelled. "Margaret," he said, his voice cracking, "there are only 2 dolls in here. Does that mean, in all these 60 years, you were only angry with me twice?" She smiled weakly and nodded. James was overcome with emotion. He had loved her so deeply, and now he knew she had loved him just as much. Even in the moments of frustration, she had chosen patience and love over anger. Tears welled up in his eyes as he reached for her frail hand. "I don't deserve you," he whispered. "I've been the luckiest man in the world." Then his eyes flickered back to the box. "But my love," he said, puzzled, "if you only made 2 dolls, then where did all this money come from?" Margaret's lips curled into a faint smile, and with a twinkle in her tired eyes, she said, "Oh, that's the money I made selling the dolls." James blinked. His mind reeled as the realization sank in. She had made thousands, no, tens of thousands of dolls over the years. For a moment, there was silence. Then, despite the sadness in the air, they both burst into laughter. James laughed until tears rolled down his cheeks, and Margaret's soft giggles filled the room like music. Even in her final days, she had found a way to bring him joy. And as James held her close, he realized something. Their love story, with all its quiet sacrifices and gentle patience, would remain his greatest treasure. Margaret passed away peacefully not long after, leaving James with a lifetime of memories and a newfound appreciation for the shoebox that had held the secret to their extraordinary love.